Greetings, and today we have a bit of a shorter list here, but that's okay. I'm gonna go through them anyway. I went to go through all the other cards first before I can sort of give my full thoughts on these cards. They're probably still gonna be incomplete because there's probably a couple missing pieces that I'm gonna be missing when I describe this, but that's okay. I trust that you guys will tell me about it. So let's get straight to the list. First card here that got well, I don't know if it's the first card, but it's a card on the top of the list. We got Free Company. It is a 6 power, 1 armor for 7 overall life, and an 8 provision gold card. On deploy, you boost all allied bandits by 1. So it looks like they're slowly making bandit, not a standalone, but like a good support archetype. Simply because when I was looking through the cards, I don't think I noticed any bandit cards on the current card sets. If there are, then let me know, but I think it's sort of something that they're building with this expansion. So this card probably won't have a big support like all of the insectoid support cards that are coming, but you know, we haven't seen the full set yet, so there could be even more bandits coming along the way. This card is a bandit itself, but unfortunately it will not get the benefit from its own ability, which sucks, but that's okay. Standing in at 6 power is actually pretty strong already, not to mention it does give more boost, so you essentially only need 2 bandits to match the profit here between the power and the provision. And that 1 armor, I don't know why. I mean, I guess having that 1 armor there is good for sort of keeping it there longer. So again, it's good for, it's essentially a point absorber, those armor. So you know, every single armor helps because of how low scoring most of the Gwent matches happen nowadays compared to like the closed beta where you'd have matches up to like 200. So I think armor is more it's a bit more powerful here in terms of like protecting your points and such, because sometimes games they end with like someone winning by like only 1 or 2 points, and that's actually very crucial. So yeah, there's Free Company. The next card we have here is Oneeyed Betsy. It is a 10 provision unit with 4 power and 2 cost for 2 armor for 6 overall life. And on deploy, you damage an enemy unit by 4. If it has armor, damage it by 6 instead. So this is a more powerful version of one of the cards that we saw on one of the previous videos, because I believe that card's ability was you damage an enemy unit by 1, and if it has armor, you think you damage it by 3 instead. This one's a more powerful version of that. It is a pretty tall removal card, of course, having 6 armor. If it has armor, damage it by 6 instead. So it has the potential to really like destroy a card like this. So essentially, if they have only 1 armor, and let's say they have 5 life, it destroys them. So this card does have better chances of removing units. I'm not sure having it at 10 provisions, that might be a bit too high, but you know, it kind of comes with like wanting to discourage the tall removal cards from units, because I know the special card seems to have more ability to do that. So having a card like this, it's good for disrupting those barricades, potentially even those defenders if they're planning on boosting their armor up a lot. So this card can do that, or damaging an enemy unit by 4 is good anyway. If you manage to remove an engine, it's actually a pretty big deal. And it'll be a 10 for 8 if you do decide to use just the deploy ability on the first line. But being able to remove a unit can be pretty big, because with a lot of engines that are coming in with this expansion, it could be a lot of possibilities for like the games are gonna get more. They're gonna be more long con games, I think, just because of the amount of cards, the amount of the types of cards that are coming in. So I do like the addition of Betsy with its ability. I'm not sure about its provision cost. I mean, I don't want to say it should be lower, but that's because of damaging it by 6. It is a lot with armor, and there are not a lot of units with more than 6 armor anyway, unless you know it gets boosted, or if it's something like the Tempest, the armor card that has the power equal to its armor. So there's that as well. So this card has possibilities to do some pretty decent damage, and it's a neutral card, so it can be accessed by any faction, especially one that lacks damage output. So it's a card to consider. Elf and onion soup in there. Next card, we have the Draco Turtle. This is a Skellige card. It is a 12 provision, 6 armor, 6 power for 12 overall life. And whenever this unit loses armor, boost self by the amount of armor lost. So this card is essentially it's an armor transfer to its power card. Because like The thing is, this card could be sort of a decent bait setup for, again, those cards like Leo Bonhart, Geralt of Rivia. You can purposely ping this card to get the power that you need to become targetable by those cards, for example, and just absolutely destroy it. But the thing is, this card, it will take more than one turn to do that, of course, because otherwise, like, 6 power obviously is going to be outside the reaches of those cards, and obviously it will be outside the range of the assassinates, the tourney joust, etc., because of the armor that it has available. So that's probably the way I see them trying to counter a card like this, just because this card seems to be super powerful, which I get why it's at 12 provision. So it's pretty powerful. It's just a card that can pretty much stay there, and if for some reason a unit, if there's a card that lets you like take away an armor from somebody and improve their own health, you can do that. Plus it combos with this. I'm not sure if there's any cards that do that yet. I don't think so. But again, there could be possible combos. It's one of those, like, we have to wait for the full set to come out to see what the full potential is. But you can already sort of get an idea as to what kind of potential this card might have once the full set comes out. So I like this card, actually. It's pretty nice. And I like the art too. Pretty cool, actually. And I think this is the last card on the current list. We have Percival Buck. It is a 7 provision, not 1, because otherwise that'd be too powerful. It's like 1 provision for 4 and 3. That's a bit too powerful. House Harmony, bad hand, first of all, because why would you have Roach in your hand with 4 power? Must be from the old Gwent. With Harmony 2. So again, it's just an engine there for the more diverse scoia'tael decks where you're wanting to run multiple types. And it is having it at 7 power, 7 overall life is decent for it to stay on the field for more than 1 turn. Because again, it is outside of the reach of the damage output cards, and it's also outside the reach of the cards like the ones that remove units with tall power. So it's one of those cards where it'll probably take a couple turns for that to happen, but like again, you can sort of use this thing as a damage bait, where when they're trying to think about this, you could be also helping set up your other cards as well. And because it's only at 7 provision, it's actually not that cheap, so you can afford to put some of your stronger cards into your deck and sort of help set them up in a way. And having it at Harmony 2 is actually pretty powerful, because simply playing 1 unit already increases the benefit, increasing the power of it by 2. So it's essentially whatever you're putting onto the field, as long as it's the first card on the field that it's unique primary type, then this card, it'll get a +2 boost from what's this guy's name, Percival. So this card's pretty cool. I like that he's playing Gwent against just a piece of armor who can't do anything. But I like the art. It's pretty funny. It's a bit of comedy there. So that's the current list for today. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more Gwent content. Other than that, Enzo signing out. Catch you guys in the next one.